I cannot wait to show you guys this location here. So I have mapped out so far over 200 different places on primarily Google Maps that have all caught my eye for one reason or another. But the place I want to check out today is located over in the Middle East on the eastern side of the peninsula here, right on the border of the United Arab Emirates and Oman. And I mean right on the border. So this is a very unique site located, as you can see, just south of Dubai. And when I mean this is right on the border, I mean this site is right on the border here. You can see the borderline of the two countries here. And here's the wall. And here is this place named Hili Archaeological Park. I don't know what its current day use is. When you look at it from above, you can see we have some tennis courts. We have a mosque. I don't know entirely what its current purpose serves, but there is something here that to me is almost quite out of place. So let me show you this one. Let's zoom out a little bit more just to get some reference as to where this is located. So if we zoom into this park, we have a collection of these circular structures. We have one here, one here, one here. I don't know exactly how many there are, but a couple of these really stand out, and I want to talk about why they stand out. So if I get down and close and we look at these in person, let's take a look at this one over here on the left first. We get these round, very geometric structures. If you look at the inside portion of these structures, we have, ooh, that's really big. We have some pretty crude, almost looks like they were laid with mortar, these stacked blocks, but the perimeter of this structure, you can see how much more uniform this is, and how straight these blocks are on the outside compared to the inside. So there is a pretty drastic difference there. And I want to talk about that. So remember that. Let's go back here. So this site is estimated to be about 3,000 years old. There's even some pretty recent evidence just within the last couple of years where they have found fingerprints from some of the bricks that have been laid, not from these bricks because these are stone, but they were found on some mud style bricks, some fingerprints, and they were able to date that material, I believe, to at least 3,000 years old, if not even older than that. But I'm not even concerned about any kind of mud bricks. What really caught my eye with this location is these larger, more uniform style looking bricks here. So I want to go over to this larger one that we can see in the background over here. So I'm going to zoom out, and I was looking this direction at this particular structure right here. When you look at pictures from the side, it kind of looks like a dome, but you can clearly see there's no top to it. I don't know if there ever was at any point in time, but this particular structure right here is incredibly unique. And let's go take a look at this. Let's walk around a little bit here. So I believe it has, the diameter of this is about 12 feet from end to end. But when you zoom in and look at the style of stonework that is done here, number one, you do see this is a very clean circle from above. A little bit harder to recognize that when we're down at the surface level. But from above, you can tell how clean of a circle this is. But let me show you some of the stonework on the side of this and how incredibly complex this is. So what you're looking at here is one form of what they call polygonal masonry, polygonal stones. There's a lot of different terminology for it, polygonal, cyclopean, but it's very irregular style stonework. And for those of you who have not seen this before or are not familiar with this, this is one of the most single fascinating and puzzling pieces of historical finds throughout the world for me. There's no explanation that has ever been found as to how these are made. And when you look at it in your first glance, it doesn't look that complex. But really, the more you think about what it would take to make some of these absolutely irregular edges, becomes harder and harder to comprehend the more you think about it. So we have this big stone here in the middle. This, to me, appears to be some cracks. But if you look at almost every single block, you see just very irregular style. These aren't done in just squares or rectangles. Every single one is individually cut and fit to the stone next to it. Almost like Lego blocks. And what's so fascinating about that is this is not just how they look on the surface level. These cuts go all the way through the entire depth of this structure. You can see from above that it is incredibly circular. Let's go around a little bit further here. And you can see every single one of these is perfectly paired to the block that's next to it. I have never seen any kind of polygonal stonework that has mortar involved. These are typically, not typically, these are always mortarless and very, very precise fitting stones with each other. There is a little engraving here in the front, some humans and some kind of antelope as far as I can tell. But this just screams so much more work required than mud bricks. So the mud bricks in this location, which I actually haven't been able to find via the street view here or pictures. There are pictures of this, and you can see what that looks like. This is a very different style of structure building than what I'm showing you here. These are individual, very, very small bricks that are laid that have human fingerprints in them. But this right here is a whole different level. So we're currently dating this structure based on this evidence here from these mud bricks, but that is not dating this big stonework right here. Also have some holes in the side. I don't know if we know anything about those. Another small mural over here. Hard to know if any of these items were related at an added at a later date. But looking at some of these edges right here, the amount of time that it would take to cut this block, cut this angle, and then take this large block right here and make the exact same mirror image cuts and have every single one of those mate with no gaps, just has never been explained by historians. It's never been explained by archaeologists. And you find this style of stonework in places all over the world, like Easter Island, very much in Peru, very much in Egypt, in Italy, in Greece, in Turkey. And yet we attribute this to the locals living there 3,000 to possibly 4,000 years ago. Just does not add up to me. For those of you who are new, please like and subscribe on this. I'm going to show you next video a couple of sites in Turkey where we'll see some more evidence of this. And also let me know if you have any other locations out there that you would like for me to explore. What I'm going to do is I'll link down below the list of locations that I have. You can see here I have 242 places all around the world. But I love checking out new places. So if anybody out there has new places that aren't here or that I haven't talked about before, please share them with me so I can check them out. And thank you guys very much.